Hello, everyone. This is Bill Griffin. Welcome to Different Take Podcast. If you like this content, please subscribe, like, share, comment. Really appreciate you watching. New episodes Tuesdays and Thursdays. And today I have with me John Sabic, who is a candidate for Gwinnett County Commissioner, District 2. That's in Georgia. Was born and raised in the communist country of Bosnia, arrived in Atlanta in 1998 with $10 in his pocket. He's been a Gwinnett County resident for 24 years. His wife, married with three beautiful children. He's occupied with a civil engineering firm in Gwinnett County that does work all over the place. And it's an amazing personal story, and you can read it on johnforgwinnett.com. Thank you for joining me, John. If you want to introduce your family, that'd be great.
Thank you, Bill. Hi, everyone. This is John Sabic. I'm running for Gwinnett County Commissioner in District 2 to replace, hopefully, Ben Koo in his position. I just want to quickly introduce you to my family here so they can leave and we can continue. This is my wife, Christy, right here. My youngest one, Nicholas Sabic. My oldest one's Carla Sabic. She is going to start high school next year in the Parkview High School, hopefully. This is Katerina. She is in the middle school, last year in the middle school, hopefully start next year. For this year, they're all homeschooling this year. We had to pull them out of the school system because of the issues with the mask issues and you know what else happened in the schools, you know. So we had to kind of calm down everything, pull them back and reassess situation. So that's it for me, for my family. They're gonna leave now and we can continue our interview, me and you.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Bye. Okay, guys.
So I would go ahead and get started. One of the things that you mentioned is lower. You like to see lower taxes, or you're in favor of lower taxes. So how would that work? And also, what do you think the other commission members are on board with it, or would be against it, or what kind of costs would be what things would have to be cut out of the budget in order to accomplish that and that sort of thing?
So where do you want to start? Do you want to start with taxes, property taxes?
Yes, sure.
Well, my idea is I understand the property values, you know, went up, and I'm also licensed real estate agent, you know, since 2008-ish, approximately. I used to be in real estate development business as well. And I understand how this works, you know, this exact thing happened in 2007. I hope it doesn't end up same way, but certainly, you know, property values went up, and it's not real value. I think at least in my street, it's about $100,000 more than it would usually be, you know. So property taxes went up together with the property values, but it you know, if my idea is to get the mill rate down, to kind of offset that increase, drastic increase, you know, that's not real. I mean, it's some of that is, you know, obviously driven by the you know, people moving down south from up north, you know, buying all these properties, you know, for cheap from their perspective, you know, and for them, you know, taxes don't matter. But for us who live in south, you know, we know our properties were affordable pretty much since I came here in 1998. It was always affordable. You know, you can easily buy a house when, you know, with two decent normal salaries, I would say, in the household. Taxes were, you know, taxes were lower, much lower, and we were able to do everything with that small amount of tax. So basically, we used to do. I say when I go and talk to people, we used to do much more with much less money. You were able to, even if you are blind and you drive from DeKalb County to Gwinnett County, you were able to sense you're in Gwinnett County. You know, our roads were very good. We had very good police, lots of police, you know, patrolling, so less crime. So now we have much more money, but we do much less with it. We have elevated crimes. Our roads are not fixed. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do here. If we can lower mill rate to help our residents, to help working class and help our fixed income mainly, because they are the only one, and the working class, who suffer from these taxes, together, obviously, with the inflation that we have, from the federal government, from the federal level. But we should do what we can do, to kind of help a little bit right there.
So what kind of resistance do you think from, let me start over. Why is the government, Gwinnett County government, not more efficient with their tax dollars?
I think it used to be that way. It probably even started with previous administration, which we tried these crazy things, allocating money probably for different things, that are not really tied to the basic government services. I hear that we got this COVID money from the federal government, and we paying homeless people, to live in motels around Gwinnett County. And when homeless population heard in the different states, they started shopping around, and now so that money is gonna run out. So now are we? I don't know. I'm not in there yet, but I'm thinking. Are they thinking maybe they need to bring this money to cover kind of that when that COVID money drops off? Maybe they are thinking they need more and more money. I'm not really sure where they're spending all this money, to be honest with you. I know they are not spending it where they're supposed to spend it, which is if you travel on our roads, you will quickly realize, especially in South Gwinnett County, you will quickly realize, that they are not spending money where they're supposed to spend. I don't see so much police on the street either. I'm more for I'm favoring crime prevention rather than crime solution when it's happened. Prevention is much more, less costly, I would say. You put police visibility out there, and we should have less crime. But to answer your question, I'm not really sure why they are not efficient enough. I'm thinking they're spending some on social services, which everyone knows, you should spend less on social services at this point because we have jobs everywhere. Everyone can find a job. So you should be saving that money when we need it for social services down the road when the economy sinks, and it will happen. It's just a matter of time. It's not when, it's not if, it's when it will happen, So that's kind of what I'm thinking, but I'm not really sure until I get in there to figure out where they spend all this money. I think one of the reason one of the reason maybe because they are they're giving increases to all Gwinnett County employees, 8% increases across the board, and I'm not proponent of that. I am proponent to increase police salaries, police and firefighters salaries. Teacher is not in our domain; it's more in the school domain. But these are something the people who put their life on the risk. They should have increases, but across the board, without showing anything for it, it's just not right. It's not proper. I think it's arrogant, to be honest with you. If I taxpayer and I work for good company, I got 5% raise last year. I mean, the last 4 years, to be honest with you, but it's driven by efficiency, not by the anything else but the efficiency. So now if the government, and I have, like I said, I have good increase. So if your typical taxpayer is getting 3% raise, and the government employees are getting 8% raise. So obviously, it's not good. Only government can do this thing because they don't have to show any efficiency, for it. So that is kind of my thinking, along that line. Why would you give your government employees 8% raise, and then increase taxes? Obviously, you have to increase taxes that way. And over here, your typical taxpayer is getting maybe 3%. If they are lucky, they get 4%.
What programs is the government spending on that you would just eradicate outright?
I'm not really sure at this point. I can't not answer something that I don't know. And until I get there, I think we need to look at all of the departments. We should look. It is 8% increase. So if they increase 8% this year, I wouldn't give anyone increase next year to kind of account for it. And then we need to get more efficiency. If we need to let go of 10% workforce in the government or something like that to adjust everything, that's the probably good way to go. they're gonna find where that inefficiency is by itself, if we target it that way. So at this point, I'm not really sure where that money is going.
One of the things you mentioned is high density developments.
Yes.
And something that I kind of notice is the higher the density of the population, generally speaking, the higher the crime rates seem to be. Also, do you think they go hand in hand?
Yeah, definitely. It goes hand in hand, but it's not, you have to wait. That's kind of crime rate comes a little bit after, down the road. What comes immediately is the you put pressure on the utilities and our roads, our schools. You put pressure on the water, wastewater. I mean, everything is under pressure. Crime comes down the road, because you obviously, you have this rotating with apartments, especially. I'm not talking about all high density developments. They all need to be properly kind of so townhouses, for example, are the best case scenario because you're buying property, you're buying land, you're buying townhouses. But the apartments are the problem. I think they are increasing I think when you put 700 plus apartments on one corner, that is the problem for everyone. That is the problem for the community, for your road, how you get on the road. What about schools? What about it put pressure on everyone. So mainly we should get down apartment complexes, get them down to normal level, basic level. But at this point, I think we have already too much. My understanding, and it's not confirmed, that they approved or rezoned 4 times more apartment complexes than usual year. So that is not good. That is not good. That's not good for anyone. We are rezoning this land in apartments. We simply don't have to rezone it to apartment.
So people, it seems to me that residents that are here move here or remain here because they like the way it is. So what's driving this big change? What's behind that?
I think when the Gwinnett County make the goals and they say, hey, we want to bring 500,000 people in the Gwinnett County, right? So they make some vision. I have no idea why. Why would anyone say I want 500 more residents in the Gwinnett County? I don't know what for. What is it for? Who is it benefiting? I mean, it's not going to benefit current residents here. I understand people want to move here, but if you build, they will. If you build the apartment, they will move here, obviously. But it doesn't work for us. It doesn't work for families mainly people that move in Gwinnett County with families, they move because it's nice. We have nice parks. We have nice, we still traffic even is bad, but it's not as bad as if you move to Atlanta or DeKalb County. So I go around 2 hours pretty much a day. I go in the neighborhoods. I talk to people. I stop, go with my truck, stop. I put some door hangers around. I talk mainly anyone I see on the street, cutting the grass, walking. I talk to people. I talk to Democrats. I talk to Republicans. Common things between Republicans and Democrats, high density developments. Nobody likes it. I don't know why they're building it. Nobody likes it. I mean, I still have to find someone who is pro apartment complexes. Like
unless
I said,
you're the developer.
Yeah, well, yes. I mean, if I'm developer, I want to build what brings most money for me. That's okay. It's just a normal business. You are an apartment building business. You want to build apartments. That's fine. You go over they let you build apartments, right? But we are there to plan how we want this county to be. That's why people vote commissioners in. We are there, we plan, and we kind of give our vision. And if we say, hey, we want 500,000 residents, you have to build apartments. You have to. There's no way you're gonna do it the other way. I say cut it in half, and then let's start talking. Okay, from half to 250, it's even that is too much. But let's cut it in half and let's start talking from that perspective, from that point of view. There are places where these high density development belong. For example, CID, mall, Gwinnett Place Mall. You can't put high density development there if you're gonna tie it properly. Especially if you're gonna service with the Gwinnett Transit. If the Gwinnett Transit is gonna go there and pick these people up, so that they create less traffic, that's kind of place where you put it. But not on every corner. They approving basically now every corner, have to be high density development.
That goes hand in hand with this MARTA expansion. It's been voted down, but the vote gets closer every time.
With expansion of
MARTA.
Yeah, well, the MARTA, I'm not pro MARTA. I basically listen what the residents of this county voted twice. And for me, there's no talking about MARTA at all. I mean, we voted the MARTA already 2 times out, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing to talk about there.
I thought it was amazing that the last vote came up after shutting down the economy, and there's going to be major economic disruptions. And there's just no concern about that at all. We need MARTA, so it was back on the ballot again. I was amazed that the commission did that.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was the previous administration, right? You're talking.
Correct.
Yes, I was amazed too. To be honest with you, it was very, very disturbing to see that. I think what happens, they appoint someone, MARTA. They appoint probably someone to MARTA board, from here, and some, these are all connections, work together, and then whoever is appointed to that MARTA board, they push for it, from Gwinnett County, or they push people in the Gwinnett County, to put it for vote. It's not my vision. My vision is to put government back where it belongs, to the people. So we vote government officials, including myself, to go there and represent my people that voted me in. And how do I go in and represent people who don't want MARTA and then put the MARTA on the ballot again? I mean, it's just like, it's more stupid than anything. It's arrogant. I think it's just arrogant.
Yes, it really doesn't belong there for, if ever. I mean, tell me if you agree, because with the inflation, the national inflation rate has to dictate that you have to pull back on expenses. I mean, there's a point where it's not feasible.
MARTA have many problems. That's their last problem. Okay, that's not even a problem. They're just corrupt organizations. I mean, it's not me saying this. You can Google MARTA corruption, and you don't have to go anywhere else. So if you Google MARTA corruption, you will see how many executives from MARTA, end up in the federal jail for the corruption. So if you start there and you start asking yourself, why MARTA is pushing so hard to get into Gwinnett? Well, they want our money, because it's a machine. It's a hungry machine. That's want money, more money for the corruption. So MARTA lost about 30% of their riders in past decades. So now they have to recoup it somewhere. My understanding is they just got the federal government help right now. So they're working on it. So they're probably going to leave us alone for a while, but not for a long time. There's always someone there who is going to push from the MARTA board, over Gwinnett County, to put it on the ballot again. And there's multiple problems with MARTA, but the inflation. You're right. You're completely right. Inflation is something that we need to stop with everything, all the big expenses. We need to prepare what's coming. I hope nothing's happened. But the situation is not good. I think we are half in.
It makes sense. Crisis. It makes sense to prepare for the worst, because the economic news nationally it's not good. The last time we had this sort of run with inflation where it was around 8%, it took many years to get through it.
That's right. That's why we're pushing for recession right now. If the recession happens, we may. But problem is, what if that doesn't turn to be correct? It always does, but what if it doesn't this time? So you have to prepare for the worst. Yes, we have many problems. from Europe, coming from Europe, and I hope everything ends up good. But as far as I know, we are half into the crisis, and that's a hopeful, and that's a hopeful statement.
Correct.
Yeah.
What is one of the things you mentioned is better management of resources, and you've talked a good bit about that. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's pretty much what I'm thinking. If we are half into the crisis, we have really to go back to basics. We have to start fixing our roads. More you leave it this way, more expensive it's gonna be. There's a matrix out there. I forgot what it is. How many? How often you have to resurface the road to be least expensive, for the county. So there's a matrix out there. I just forgot about it. So more we leave it this way, you hit the 3 potholes between Lilburn, where I live, and the Lawrenceville on the 29, on the Highway 29. And there are, that's one of the most important roads for Gwinnett County, So if that road is that way, then others are, so we have to go basic. Fixing our roads, utilities, make sure we have enough police, in the case everything turns down economically, it brings a lot of other problems, So we need to allocate a little bit more money for the police, and firefighters. I don't know, I have to still go around and talk to these people to see what they really need, where they stand with everything, I did went into one, gave them some donuts, and told them I'm gonna be coming back talking to them. So we'll see. I talked with some police guys down in our South District. I kind of have a little bit picture about it, but I want to go more and more, and I want to go back and understand what they need. And that is kind of my take on it. That let's calm down everything. And my idea is to get in there, get elected to kind of calm things down first. Get it down, get everything leveled politically, financially, and in every other way. We need to cool down situation, and see where we stand first of all. Help people as much as possible, with the taxes, without hurting everything else. But to get that mill rate down, to offset this high prices for our real estate. It's not only individual real estate. I'm looking at my, for example, retirement building up the street, first one next to me, their taxes went up 24%. I know people don't think about it. They think only houses, but you have other buildings. You have a Publix, you have a grocery stores, you have a retirement, what they call it, retirement buildings where they have a retirement folks. So if you have 24% increase in taxes, they will be paying for it. Where are they going to pay it from? From their fixed income? Well, now you think about it. Everyone have to think about it. We mostly think when we say property taxes, we mostly think about ourselves, about houses, and that is correct. But we don't think about all the other buildings. All the other buildings that employ actually people. So they either have to increase their rate, or if it's grocery shopping, they have to increase their prices, or let go of some people.
Yes, that's a very good point. So one of the things that happened then with this outbreak of COVID is the prior chairman, when she shut down because this happened on the local level, people forget this. The cities shut down restaurants, and then the next thing that happened was that the counties shut down everything, pretty much.
That's right.
Except essential businesses. You can't even go to church. And I thought it was amazing. It was on a Friday when that happened. So you can't even call your commissioner to vent about it. And there was a press release that the chairman, Charlotte Nash, supposedly Republican, thanked the citizens for their temporary sacrifices. Well, if your business, it's ruined.
Yeah.
That's not a temporary sacrifice. So it's just kind of it was a strange thing to say, but what did you think about all that? And then I've got another question.
I think I was on board for 2 weeks. It shouldn't be that just I follow basically what the brand camp did. I like what he did. I pretty much agree 100% on what he did. I was on board with for 2 weeks, and that's pretty much it. We are all grown up people. I'm more on that side. We are grown up people. If we are stupid enough to go in without mask, and I mean, there are all kind of people out there, and all kind of people have to make their own decision. Are they going to put one mask? Are they going to put 2 masks on, 3 masks, whatever they want to do? But there are some people who don't want to put any mask, And so we kind of have to we still live in Georgia. We still live in free state, and that is my point. We should be free as much as possible. 2 weeks was appropriate, probably, to close, to see where we stand. Like I'm like that with everything. Is there shock to everything or to the economy or anything? Calm down for a situation, see where we stand, and then you can think clearly. You can think where to go. But I think Brand Camp did very good job on that, and I agree with. I'm completely 100% on his side.
You think the thing that was interesting about it was set up so that the counties have the authority to do this, regardless of what the state did. And then the state came along and they shut everything down. The next time this happens, I don't think the citizens understand what many of them will not understand, do not know if there was any quantifiable benefit, will they?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I'm not pro closing businesses, first of all. Like, leave the businesses open if they want to be open. That's my take on it. If you want to go into that business and buy something, feel free to go, or get the services, whatever you want to do. If you don't want to go, you just don't go. And then that's the basics. To me, it's just a basic principle of, everything. Now, if I close that business, how am I going to get the money? How am I going to get the money to pay their power bills? And so you have to get money from somewhere. You can't just close business without giving them the tools to survive for the whatever that is. Is it month? Is it 2 months? Is it 3 months? But then again, where are you going to get money to give them money? You have to get it from somewhere. Again, you're going to get it from the citizen. So I'm not. It's just this Republican thinking is, you don't pick winners and losers. You let people run if they want to run. They already know we are grown-up people here. If people know how to open their business and run it for years and years, they should know what to do with COVID as well.
Well, the thing that I thought was interesting, and is you have everybody's on board with these shutdowns. Some are for less time than others, but you have the county governments, the state, and the federal. The federal government did not have the authority to do this, but it was between the county, the cities, counties, and states. So they had the authority, but now that it's all over, they can't tell who's responsible for explaining what the quantifiable benefit was. Because if without knowing that, how in the world are people going to be on board for the next time around?
That's a good question. I don't know either. I'm not a scientist. I cannot say if if they accomplished anything with it. To be honest with you,
is that something you think the commission ought to? It's the second most populated county in Georgia. Do you think that's something the commission ought to be pushing to the state to get an answer, or they come up with an answer on their own as to what the quantifiable benefit is, so they know what kind of decision to make the next time? Because it seems to me there was the burden of proof. There was no burden of proof. It was just, virus is coming, virus is bad, shut everything down because we don't know any better.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I don't know. I wish we can, we can get on the board and see what the state does, and then be everyone. But then again, you have a city of Atlanta, they're gonna do their own things, and the county, once they start doing their own thing, I don't know what the laws say about it. I wish we can just follow state level, and see what the state does, and just kind of go that way. Like I said, I'm not pro shutting down anything. I'm let people, just good. Same with the schools. I pulled my kids out of school because they put a mask on almost 2 days or 3 days before the school starts. So we scramble around because I don't want my children in school with a mask. We scramble around what to do, and then we pull them back. We check different schools. You can't just get in like that quickly. So we had to pull our kids back, and then homeschool them this year, which is very good. I'm happy about it now, but you shouldn't be doing that last minute. You need to give people some, you shouldn't be doing that at all. But if you're already doing that, that if you are a leader, if you are in the leadership position, if you really know what the leadership means and what the leadership is, then you start planning before that, and you tell people, hey, this is what may happen. If this happens, we do this. If this happens, we do this. Give people some time to think. Give people some time. Like, if you want to, for me at least, you want to wear a mask, you wear a mask. If you don't want to wear a mask, you don't wear a mask. Obviously, if you are wearing a mask, nobody can. I mean, I'm not going to say anything about it, but that I'm going to leave it at that.
I know that the incumbent was in office during that period of time, and it seemed very irrational to me to make that decision or to be on board with it, because he certainly wasn't saying, "Oh, this is a terrible thing to do." So now you have the state that comes along and basically takes over. Well, why not have been in contact with the state to find out, oh, well, if you're going to do this, I don't understand the urgency to it and why it's a,
yeah. I think
there's no
well,
burden of proof. I understand there's an unknown, but now that this is passed, it seems to me these politicians should be accountable, even on the county level, because they did it. I mean, you still have commissioners that are going to be on board with shutting everything down again once this happens in a few years.
Sure they will. Like I said, same. I'm on the same kind of page like you are. We don't know. We didn't learn anything from it. We don't know if that helped at all. We have Florida, we have Georgia, we have New York who shut down everything. Why we have California that shut down everything, and now they have bigger problem than we do. We have China that is shutting down everything, but is it working? No, I mean, they did shut down everything, but is it working? No, they have a problem now,
So
but again, like what I want to say, that state does have more resources than the county. We don't have, I don't remember, I don't think we have a scientist on the board or anyone like that who can make this determination. So why would I make determination? I'm not equipped to make that determination. State does have probably resources much more than we do, than the county does or the city, so they should be one calling the shots, for everyone.
That's kind of what I was getting at or asking about, is why would the county make that determination when they don't have the resources to know whether it was a good call or not?
Well, it would be good thing to go in and see who made the decision and why did they make the decision, where did they get the information from, how did they come to the conclusion? Did they go to the hospital? Did they talk to the scientists? Do they talk to anyone who is equipped to do that? And you can't just talk to one, obviously, with anything. Like with anything, you have to ask, 5-6 people, or whole board of people. I understand everyone was on the board with it, but I just don't understand how did they come to that conclusion, So that's why I would push everything on the state if you can, because if they have a resources, to do it, they should be doing that.
Right. Why should people vote for you instead of your opponent?
Well, my opponent is there 4 years. People can go and see what he did. if he did anything good, like this, I'm very simple man. I say, hey, you go in, you check what he did. If he did good, vote for him. Everyone, Republicans, Democrats, I don't care. If you like what you see, you vote for people who are there 4 years. If you don't like what you see, you try someone else. And that's a basic principle. I do plus, I work past 22 decades, more than two decades, with projects. I work with limited amount of money. We work municipal. Our projects are 100% municipal work. I work for New York City, projects for New York City, for Miami-Dade, Orange County, Fulton County, DeKalb County, Gwinnett County, you name it, cities and counties all across the United States. I have my budget. I have to follow my budget. I have time, and same way. I go in the government. I do the same thing. I follow the budget. I get that money, that much money. Hey, what can we do with this much money? Without increasing, without going to the client, in this case, my voters, and say, hey, give me more taxes. I need more. I screwed up. I don't know. I'm not gonna. I don't like to talk about other candidates. Besides, Ben Ku is my opponent. I think he was running on. He is a grandson of a Chinese immigrant that came here to work for Marta. That was his line. His first gay, openly gay member to serve on the commission, and and he lobbied to start praying in the government. So these are his things. You can only run one time on these things. When you're running second time, you have to prove. You have to prove what you did. You have to have something to say, hey, this is what I did. So he has to answer what he did, and then people can judge what he did, and if they like it, they vote for him. Hey, everyone, go ahead and vote for him. That's kind of how I see it. If you don't like what you see, you try somebody else.
Is there anything I should have asked that I didn't ask, or you'd like to add?
Go ahead. You just have to think about it. I don't know if you need to ask anything else. You have these interviews much more often than I do. This is my first.
well, I will tell you this: if people read about you on your website, it's amazing personal story. And the thing that I noticed was your family had a kind of rough time because your father would not kowtow to communists, and he insisted that you all get a good education, but you would not take Marxism, which is
Marxism was something that I actually didn't get to the good education, but Marxism was in my. They started teaching it in the middle school already, so I wasn't. It was very. My father would never let me skip any classes ever. That would be big problem for me. But he said Marxism, when it's Marxism, I don't want you to go on the Marxism. That's the only class I had to skip. so I really didn't even take it. So I didn't get to the education, because so my country went through. So I grew up in the former Yugoslavia. Some of you guys, older guys, know Tito. Tito was the president of the former Yugoslavia. So we had kind of light version of the communism. It wasn't even bad communism, but still but there wasn't any opportunity for someone like me, who is not the party member, or my family never was the party member. They said education was free. Yes, it was free, but you had to afford it. How do you afford it? How do my family afford it? It is free, but you still have to. The colleges are not like in every corner, like in the United States. Colleges are maybe 50, 60, 100 miles away. So you have to pay somehow to get there. To live separate life, it wasn't possible for me. So, so once I turned 18, I went to the regular army. After that, the war started while I was in the regular army. I spent 3 years in war. We separated country completely into 6 different republics. So Bosnia had it hardest than any other, and I ended up there, in the war. So at the end, before war ended, I had to escape. I escaped. Took me 1 year on the, to get to the free area, about 1 year, and then after that, a year after that, I applied for the United States and finally came here in 1998, in April 1998. Like I said, I landed with $10 in my pocket. I achieved everything. I purchased my first house in about 6 years or so after that, and then I started my business. 2004, I purchased my first house, and then 2005, I started my business. I left my full-time job in 2007 to run my business, and then all the economy crashed, and I lost everything basically, and I had to pick up pieces. I went into minus from almost being a millionaire. Went all the way to minus, trying to loaning money from my friends, and family to just stay afloat, but picked up again, and that's what's great about this country. You fall, but you just rise again. You go as long as you have a jobs out there, you're fine.
So how do you think, this is my last question, I suppose, how do you think this background experience will impact your philosophy on how you make decisions?
So basically, how is it going to impact? If it's more than likely this is going to be crisis management situation very soon. This position, this election may be not just on my level, on the county level, but on every other level. More than likely is going to turn into crisis management. So everything that I just told you, how you survive with very little and allocate money properly, it's very important in the crisis. So instead of going right now, you have to kind of have a vision already when you start. You have to have a vision, and you have to understand this may happen. Okay, the situation that 2007 2008 was pretty bad here, so you never know what the next crisis is going to look like. So that's why you prepare. You hopefully put some money on the rainy fund. I would like to explore rainy fund. Put some money in the rainy fund. So when that happens, we have to at least we can keep working. Government can keep working. Police, firefighters, fixing utilities. Water, wastewater, roads. It can keep working. Everything else is less important.
Well, very good. Well, thank you very much for doing this, John. How do people find your website and all that kind of stuff?
So you go on johnforgwinnett.com on my website. You go on my Facebook. Follow me on Facebook, please, because I share some information there. It's easiest to share. So it's facebook.com/johnforgwinnett. Go there, follow me. If you like what you hear, if you like what you see, please donate because we are much behind. I think Banku raised, someone told me, about $100,000. I don't know how much $100,000. The Republicans, need to step up, basically start donating money for these local elections. I know we donate for these higher positions, but local elections matter probably most for your pocket right now than any others, at this point.
Yes, and many people may not know there are only 5 seats in a county that's
right,
something like 1 million people in population, but there's only 5 seats on the commission. So 5 people are deciding, and some of them have they don't have very good business experience.
No, I don't think they have any experience. So this is mostly, like, you can see it when they zoning, when the people come for zoning, and you can hear their questions, and just no experience with many things.
Right.
It's a basic zoning and zoning laws and how to, they basically just approve zoning, whatever people come up with. It seems like if they're approving this many apartments, they just don't know what to do, how to do it, I guess. Instead of pushing back and saying we just don't rezone it to apartments, that's it. I mean, that's pretty much, it's simple.
Right. Very limited private sector experience.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
Well, I really thank you for doing this and taking the time to do this, and I wish you the best of luck. And
thank you so much, Bill. Thank you for inviting me, and we can chat again at one point. Probably before election. See, this is still early. Maybe a few months from now. Before election, we can chat more and see where we stand once I get more information.
I would love to do that, and okay. I will. you've been watching Different Take podcast. Been interviewing John Sabic, who is a candidate for Gwinnett County Commissioner District 2. And I thank you for watching. If you like this content, please subscribe, like, share, comment. Thank you.
I just want one more thing. Can I?
Oh, yes, sure.
The Gwinnett County Commissioner District 2 covers whole area of Lilburn, portion of Tucker, portion of Lawrenceville, portion of Norcross, and portion of Snellville. But you guys and everyone have to understand, once you are elected, doesn't matter if it's Commissioner 2, 1, 2, 3, or 4. We affect whole county. We affect especially property taxes, especially roads, especially police, we affect whole county. So it doesn't matter where you reside in a county. You can vote for me if you are in this District 2, but it will affect whole county.
Okay. That
Just
is
wanted
very
to
true.
mention, yeah, just wanted to mention that. I forgot about that.
That is very true.
Okay.
Well, thanks everybody for watching.